one of the reasons I always say also that the man is the price in a relationship is because men are the gatekeepers to serious relationships and marriages. Because it's the man that proposes, and it's the man that lobolas, and it's the man. A man literally has nothing to benefit from that institution of marriage as a whole. But then obviously, I think it's a man marrying a woman, it's one of the highest honors a man can give to a woman. The same way a woman giving birth
to
exactly.
a son,
That's why most men are like, she has a child. She's already given that honor to some other man, you know? And then again, you will be shamed for that, you know?
Welcome to the Ngonyama Lifestyle Estate, north of Johannesburg, where we've got land, hectares and hectares and hectares of land, 140 houses being built this year in 2024. I'm very excited because, you know, I bought myself double stands and I'm building myself a triple story archer, triple garage, and I'm looking forward to having you as a neighbor. Get in touch with us and find out the opportunities that are here for you to get yourself a vacant stand. You can buy yourself some land. We are at the clubhouse for now. We haven't started building, but we will be starting very, very soon. So get in touch with ekasinoboproperties.com. Ngijabule kakhulu because namhla singaphansi kwesihlahla ngomuntu mina ke oyithandela imvelo. I love nature and I love hugging trees. And if you love dating or relationships, or you've just been one of those people who've been commenting everywhere over the past couple of years on the internet, or maybe you've been a very big fan of dating coaches or conversations that have to do with Umjolo, you're at the right place today because I have got a dating coach. Not only a dating coach, but she's also a matchmaker.
A matchmaker, yes.
Kunjani sisinoni?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Ngiyaphila, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ngijabule ukukwazi. Ngiyabonga ukuthi uzosivakashela, ngicela ukubonga isikhathi sakho.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm also excited to be here.
I think the first thing I'd like to say is congratulations with your boldness.
Yeah.
And you not being afraid to create conversations out there that end up even compromising you, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you end up getting dragged. I've seen a lot of comments out there.
Yeah, you end up getting dragged. And also, I think I've accepted that maybe I'm not brand friendly. And I've made peace. So I'm not doing for what I'm doing just to be like brand and advertiser friendly. It's okay as long as I do what I want to do, which is to push the truth and the message and change lives. I'm good. So yeah, thank you.
You know, they say khona izangoma zezulu.
Yeah.
Mina la South Africa ngisangoma se talent.
Okay.
I'm one of those people who can recognize talent before it becomes big.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you're going to be very big.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And that is if you're consistent at what you do. Because I can see something.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to invite you here.
Okay.
Because I can see that there's something in what you're doing. And I love it. Your content is amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Yini into ekwenza ukuthi uqale nge-content yomjolo yama-relationship?
It started ngisafunda University of Johannesburg.
Oh, you went to UJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
I studied logistics management, and then I started off just venting about social dynamics, abantu izinto engibona bezenza. I'm particularly interested in people, indlela abarelate ngayo, indlela abaphathana ngayo. So it started off as just venting, and then people just loved my content. Then they started following, and then they started asking me questions, and then I started answering, and then people started to reach out and say, Sis NONNIE, I have this problem. I literally used to take 1 hour phone calls for free and just until it just became ridiculous, and then I started to charge like after a year or two. So yeah, that's how it started, me just venting.
And what did you study at UJ?
I studied logistics management.
Oh, logistics management. So what you're doing now
has nothing to do with what I studied.
Nothing to do with what you studied.
Yeah.
So tell me, as you got at UJ and this content thing is growing, when did you decide what I'm on? And also I wanted to know, are you pursuing the career in logistics?
So then after I graduated, obviously you have to touch on a bit of internships just to build your CV in that line. But in terms of just coaching, it just became natural. Like how I said, I used to do it for free, and then people used to charge me for it. And then per day, I used to just have back to back, back to back, back to back. So
So people would
yeah.
pay you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I take sessions, I go to events and I speak, and I held one successful matchmaking events where singles meet in a nice classified restaurant. Some people just go to bars because they are single, they're hoping to meet someone. But now, how about going to an event specifically for single people? We all get to play games and interact, and it's private, no cell phones allowed, and each and everyone is like vetted. So perfect age groups, no kids, professionals, and everyone in there is just there for love. So yeah.
Now the singles, are you also single?
Unmarried. I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married?
Yes.
Okay, that's a smart way of answering that question. Okay,
I'm not married as yet.
okay, we are chola now.
See, this is what's funny about becoming popular is that you start to become this reality star. Like, people dig where you grew up, how you grew up, how you looked when you were younger. And like, guys, I'm just trying to give people dating advice. Like, so that question, I'm like, I don't want to answer it.
Okay, but you also get people who say, well, now what qualifies you to give dating advice?
Well, my answer to that is, do you only take medical advice from doctors? Do you only take financial advice from successful businessmen and women? Do you only take life advice from qualified coaches? So it's a advice. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows how to win. You don't necessarily have to take it from someone who only became number one from the race.
Yeah.
If 10 people are racing, almost everyone knows what it takes to win, So it's talent also. I'm talented.
I know, I think you are.
I'm
For those who are not familiar, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm like, I'm talented. So that question, what qualifies you? I'll just be like, go and look at my work.
Yeah.
And then come back.
For those who don't know, go follow her social media platforms. Her Instagram is NONNIE_N_. NONNIE with a double N. So it's NONNIE _N and then underscore. NONNIE_N. Let me just give you guys an example of some of the things that she covers, some of the things she talks about on her Instagram.
Okay.
In case you're not familiar with her page before we get into these topics. Listen.
Do you marry a white man over a black man for these reasons?
Thank you so much.
Oh, this is her speaking to guests. Let me just go to content of her by herself. Maybe for instance, let's go to Asizwe la kuthi.
Ooh, on that video you're gonna play.
Ukhuluma ngemali, la don't give her money.
Okay.
Imali ungayinikeza intombazane imali ongayiqabuli, intombazane ongayilali, intombazane ongayibamba uyikhadi leshop soke intombazane enganandaba nawo loku busy uyinikeza imali amantombazane azokuxhaphaza amantombazane ungayinikeza intombazane imali
Why?
Because why? Uyinikezela intombazane imali engaqabuli, engakulali, engakhagi, awujoli naye. Then why are you giving her money? Resources is what makes men attractive. And then a woman's fitness, femininity, and how young she is what makes her attractive. A woman is definitely not willing to waste what makes her attractive on a guy that she's not benefiting anything from. So why would you, as a man, why would you do that? So I speak openly against it.
Most men sebenzisa imali to court you guys.
Yeah.
Take you out, buy you gifts.
But imali engakanani ozoyispenda? Because if you're single, how many ladies do you take out on a week just to find the one? Probably every day you have a date lined up. It's even worse if you're meeting one for brunch, one for dinner. You've taken out 10 different women. You've spent money on all of them. It's just ridiculous. Also, the whole idea of courting now has turned to seem as if it's men who are begging women, and it's men who want to prove themselves to be women to the women. it's never been like that. Women also want to be with men. If I accept to go on a date with you, I also want you. Why can't I show up? Why must I demand it must be this full-blown dinner date? Why can't I just accept a nice cute coffee date?
Okay, what are the limits, Ke? Because obviously, taking you out on a date and paying for 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
But not going all out, my single niggas.
I always say, just say drinks.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, see if you want to extend it to a meal.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You deserve a second date.
Exactly. Because most of the times I call them meal scammers. I went to university. No, I went to university. I'm fully aware. I can afford to buy a grocery because I'm going to be going out on different dates with different men. Those are meal scammers. Umuntu just showed up for the meal. Ukhuluma naye umuntu umbuza so what are your hobbies? Umuntu busy yadla. That's a meal scammer. So those are the things you need to look out for. Nah, this one's a meal scammer, Strictly coffee shop, Starbucks, one drink. And then if you see, she's a lovely lady, pure intentions, then you take it to like a different restaurant.
It's been trending in America. A lot of African Americans have been talking about Indawe Fanandabo Cheesecake Factory with their first date. So equivalent to those in South Africa, there's certain places where I've just heard you mention about Starbucks,
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
You know what?
Or as a guy, shouldn't I care? Or I must go all out to impress this lady.
If ufuna keep intombazane for a first date, it definitely must be why can't we take a stroll in the park? Smungo ice cream. Why can't we just go hiking? Yeah, but that's how you differentiate. That's how you differentiate. It's very easy. Women know how to chase away men that they don't want. And then she knows it's okay, fine. Now I'll only be left with guys that I can take advantage of because now just see how interested is this hand in me.
Yeah.
And then let's go for a walk this Saturday. Sometimes you can ask for a walk. If you're impressed by her, you can take it further, After the walk, maybe y'all can go for lunch, whatever. But if she agrees for that walk, already it's like a fine, green flag. Green flag, yeah.
By the way, guys, I know with Umjolo, you might have a lot of questions. You can connect another mic. You can be a host and ask whatever questions you might want to ask.
Awesome.
I can already see they're already interested to want to ask some questions. Now, also when it comes to the beginning of the relationship, when you're still impressing this person, now you can do that first date and then you're like, I know senkrendila. You can easily just cut it out. But
understand.
So I'm taking it. You sorted.
Yeah, I'm good over here.
Okay. Let me give you a chance. I'll come with my question again.
Okay.
Hi, Nonnie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm good, thanks. My name is Overyt, man who controls the hype. I got an interesting question, right?
Okay.
So now, let's say you meet someone and she's attracted to you because of like what you said something about like resources, right?
Yeah.
A man is attracted because of his resources.
Yeah.
So now, what if your resources are like intellectual and you meet this woman, you court her, you start dating, and you train this person to be where she's at, and she now all of a sudden feels like she's better than you, and then she bounces. What like causes that to like happen?
What causes her to change? Are you asking me how to handle that?
Yeah.
What are you asking me? How to handle that, or what causes her to change?
And how to handle that?
Yeah. Controversial. I always say I feel like I sometimes feel like men make better leaders than women for some reason.
Yeah.
We have a tendency of having a big head as soon as we get a lot of resources and a lot of power. So I mean, it is expected. It is expected. And also, feminine women are hypergamous. Naturally, we just prefer someone who's taller than us, stronger than us, more money than us, smarter than us. So if I'm now more powerful than you, then yeah, like that's how women are. But then also, my thing is, when she acts like that and then you're not happy, why would you then now cower or dump her and move on? You're a man.
Exactly.
Like,
Because now my thing was like, okay, cool. in life, right, we do have off seasons as Amachita.
Yeah.
So now the moment a nigga has an off season, excuse the language.
Yeah.
The moment a nigga has an
her
off season,
off-season,
then
go
she
rough.
ups and leaves type of thing. So
Yeah.
now, I just want to know like
Yeah,
your
no.
perspective on that.
I think you've dodged the bullet there. If she ups and leaves when
Yeah.
you're in an off season, then it's okay. She's not meant to be. She's
Word.
for the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Actually, for the streets, for real.
Also, i-sexual market value abantu besilisa nabantu besifazane ihlukile.
Sure.
A woman enters her prime as soon as she turns 19. All of a sudden, all men up until the age of 50 want to change her life, want to scoop her and marry her.
Right.
A man can really take his time. A man can afford to get married when he's like 47 or something, you know? And then when he does get married, he can marry a 24-year-old if he wants, a
Yeah.
23-year-old. So I never get why men now want to put themselves through stress. Intombazane kazibekunesi stress dambe maningi.
Shout out.
Maningi,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Abapheli, yeah.
Exactly.
I
Damn,
always say
move
that.
on. You don't have a clock against you. So, yeah, please.
Is it a good idea to bring somebody from, let's say, Makaya, bring them to the cities, give them, show them a good life? Mhlawumbe ubantu nokuba nase-university because uyayithanda le ntombazana. Baqede bagraduate nase-university, thengele nomoto, umbonise nje impilo engcono. I've seen people in the past where le ntombazana, same thing I show you.
Yeah.
Couple of years later, le ntombazana, the circles that this guy has brought this girl into, sekadampa yena uku-upgrade
Uku-upgrade.
ngabangani bakhe
Yeah.
ngabantu abakulevel yakhe
Yeah.
abantu ukuthi balethwe yile ndoda kuyo yona le ntombazana.
Mina, first of all,
Or should I just stay away from investing in a girl?
Mina, first of all, my favorite types of women are women who are raised in a traditional environment, typically emakaya, women who want to please a man. You always want to look for a woman okunxengile, a woman who wants to impress you, a woman who listens to you. And then also, indoda edecide impilo ezophilwa umuntu esifazane. It's up to you, and if you're to sign up for this ship that you are taking her on, it's up to her if she wants to sign up for this ride or not. Oh yes, up intombazane groove. Oh yes, up intombazane to parties. Oh yes, up kwamanye amadoda, you know. It's understandable if you're now like showing her environments, about restaurants, farmers markets, nice concerts, nice festivals, but thatha intombazane uyise nkonka. Why? Also, some double standards exist. If you do want to go out with the magenta and be in mshiye endlini.
Yeah.
Mshiye endlini, you know, like for me, you as the guy are to blame if uthathe intombazane and then you turned her into a slay queen, but uzokhala later on.
Yeah.
Umuntu wesifazane, you're the one that decides impilo that she becomes accustomed to. I would say that if you're a guy on ama resources, thatha nje umfazi umgcine endlini, umzalise ingane, umshade, umnakekele, but akahlala endlini. Indaba zokuhamba ebusuku. No. I'm totally against it. Yeah.
Kuzophuma kuye nokuthi umuntu omthemba ukuthi umuntu onjani whenever she wants to go out with her friends,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
kanjalo.
And there's ways to do that. A
Yeah.
good woman would typically tell you, "Ukuthi sana sami ngendaweni ethize, this is who I'm going with," you know. There's always that openness that you want to look for as a man in your woman. Those
Yeah.
are the green flags, you know. Awumtsheli futhi like, you don't have to put down rules for her. She understands ukuthi wena umuntu onjani, and then she finds it important to akutshela ukuthi sana sami, me and my girls are going to Jameli right now. This is where we're sitting. Oh, we're having a bottle of champagne. You know, green flags are when she sends you pictures of the girls she's with. Angaliphuza utshwala befuna, but as long as you are aware, again, the same role her father played, the same role her lecturers played, her pastor played, is the same role that you'll now be playing. You know, she has to feel comfortable telling you where she is. Those are the green flags you want to look for.
So like a couple of episodes back, myself and Sbu were talking about like the rise of feminism
my God.
and like how that influences today's relationships.
Yeah.
I just want to get your perspective because now you said something about like a man's value increasing in time, in age, right? So now what's making these ladies trip right now, making them think that I don't know, like, because now with women, right, their value, I could say, decreases from age 30 down upwards, right?
It does, yeah.
So what's making them trip?
No, not their value.
Not
I think
value.
In the dating scene.
in the
in
dating
the dating,
scene,
yeah,
yes.
in the dating space, yeah.
Their dating market value decreases as age goes.
So do
He doesn't want to be cancelled. Sorry.
Not really.
No, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the
You did
more
well
mature,
by-
the older
yeah.
women become, the more mature, the more amazing they become.
Yes.
Because now I would disagree to say they lose value. I
As
think
people,
they,
as people.
yeah, but in the dating,
In the
scene,
dating scene,
space.
their chances lessen.
So based on that, now, because now it seems as if though a lot of feminists, quote unquote, are choosing career over actual relationships. So now, do you think, let's say 10 years from now, 10 years, 20 years from now, we're going to have a problem in society where there's going to be single women with no children?
I think we're already going through that. Ne?
We're already going through. Firstly, the first point we discussed, I said, inkinga enkulu yaqala uma abantu besifazane beshintsha indlela abadate ngayo compared to abantu besilisa. For the longest time, abantu besilisa have been dating in one way. They've always been looking for women who are fit, feminine, and friendly. I call it the 3 Fs. And then women have been looking for men who have stability and who are able to provide. And then go figure feminism. Mina bangisola, I think feminism yaqala ngokuthi mhlambe umama ahlale ekhaya, ubaba ahambe usebenza, umama afile ngathi ubaba uhamba uyofeba, ukhuluma namantombazane, and then afundisa ingane yakhe ukuthi have your own things. Ukuze indoda does not take advantage of you. Have your own things. But feminism, in a way, I feel like ruined women because both pixels are manje. Women romanticizes the idea of being a stay-at-home wife. Staying at home, looking after your children, and then your husband buying everything. Women just don't like working. The reports, the emails, the deadlines are killing us. So in that way, I feel like feminism did ruin us. So now what's happening is, because women are now working, they think that what they find attractive in men, which is their ability to provide, is what makes them attractive, which is not true. I hold live streams every weekday, 6:30, and then I have different guests join on. And then it's mostly women. And then the question every night is, why do you deserve a provider, man? And the answers are always, hi Nonnie, I'm 35 years old, I'm a doctor, I drive a Merc, I have a nice house in Santon. That's how I feel like I deserve. I'm like, babe, a man that has all of those things does not care that you have those things. He cares if you're feminine, fit, and friendly. That's what he cares about. And then let's be honest, if you on your day-to-day basis, your job is requires you to question men, question their ability to think, push back on them, put new things forward, boss around men, how constantly will you be able to now to and then switch it off? Uzothi yebo baba, uzothi yebo ndoda yami usuku lakho belinjani, qabla indideke esihlathini uyiphekele. That's going to become difficult. 100%. And that's why women are now becoming less feminine in the dating scene. They're becoming less feminine and then more combative and then more unagreeable and then more just forceful and
that's a bit unattractive.
That's a bit unattractive.
Because most men, we just want peace of mind, right?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying me, I'm just...
oh, gosh, Smooth doesn't... No, it's okay.
No, but at the same time, I feel like this is only happening Botaki. So now when I'm looking at like Facebook and all that, so I grew up in Benoni, and all my Facebook friends that I went to high school with, they're all married right now. They all got their own cribs, their own kids, and they're stable. But then on the other side of the coin, it's like, undota must, men should be like, it's always meme against men, and this is within the black community. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what's your take on that?
I told you about the generational trauma though.
Okay.
Umama wehlala emakhaya, bantu areas, and then ubaba hambe aphuma hamba wasebenza. Then obviously ubaba bephumile yasebenza ngambona umama for a whole month. Of course he's gonna play around. Of course he's gonna play around, and then umama dino endlini, and then she tells her daughter ukuthi yazini ukuze eyakhe into ingathatha advantage the same way your dad did to me, zisebenzele, and then get your own things, and then so that this doesn't happen to you. So mina bengisola generational trauma eyabantu abamnyama.
Wow.
Who cheats more, women or men?
Women.
Oh, I I say men just get caught more.
Yeah.
As a dating coach and a relationship coach, I can tell you there's different types of cheating. As soon as you accept favors from indoda, that's a form of cheating. As soon as you're texting with someone that you know damn well the Dayako does not want you to do, that's a form of cheating. As soon as you accept money or you have interactions with people you know damn well the Dayako would not be happy with. You know damn well ukuthi you are now cheating. So I say that women cheat more. It's just that ababanja.
Yeah.
Ababanja when women cheat. Men cheat sexually.
What if I've got a lot of interactions as a woman, but I never sleep with any of these guys?
Yeah, but that's still cheating because I was in the dark iPhone.
Same case
Our phone
as a guy.
was guy.
What if I've got a lot of interactions with women, but I never sleep with any of them, or I don't even ask them out?
Let's be honest, most of the times men just have these sexual interactions and it never means anything to them. And one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, why do men cheat? And I just say, sometimes men cheat because the opportunity is just there. Like he's out at Grove, and then there's this like Upozile, and then there's this girl who's like, hey, let me suck your lollipop, you know? He's gonna be like, hey, I mean, I've got nothing to lose. She doesn't know my name. But let's just, the opportunity just presented itself. But as a woman, as soon as I'm not communicating to you for my own reasons, sometimes what I'm not happy with, and then I get that at work, I'm already cheating. Wow. Why am I laying with you and in busy texting in Doda, so shut up my memes? I'm communicating with him more than you. You even forgot what my favorite color is, but you know, like he's fulfilling parts of me that you don't fulfill. So to me, I feel like women cheat more than men.
And what is that statement or that line that says men are only as faithful as their options? What is that line, Gonja?
Men,
snap. Sorry, what is it?
Yeah, it's based on like money, essentially, where now a man's loyalty is tested when he has money, and then a woman's tested.
A man
is as faithful as his options, though.
As his options,
that
right?
makes proper sense.
But I also like that line. Finish that one off.
A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything, and a woman's loyalty is tested when he has nothing.
Yeah. Because loyalty and attraction are two different things. So I mean, women today, I even do street interviews, hey? I was at Rosebank the other day doing street interviews and I asked a woman, are you willing to build a man? She said, I'm not Bob the Builder. You know, that's just the nature. She was just like, I'm not Bob the Builder. And it's funny how fate works, because today a man could be nothing. And then tomorrow, he could just drop one song or maybe freestyle on the internet. DJ Smooth reaches out, they create a banger song, and then he becomes the biggest thing in Africa, you know? You never know how it works. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, now when he's popping, then all of these women come out, all of these women. So yeah, that's true.
No, I'm good.
As much as you did say earlier, talking about feminism, women love and prefer patriarchy. I've heard you say something along those lines in one of your videos.
Ukuthi futhi abantu abaningi bayathanda ukusebenzisa amagama bangawa-understand. Oh my gosh. Athi umuntu, oh my gosh, Nonnie is so misogynistic. Misogynistic is anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman. I speak to women who want to understand men, who want to impress men, who want to know what men want. If you have no interest in men for some reason, we're lesbian, or for some reason, sharp, just move on. Awulazi when igama lithi misogynistic liqonda ukuthini. So igama lithi patriarchy liqonda ukuthi nje abantu abaphethe abantu besilisa. And then let's be honest, men really just want to provide for women and children. At the end of the day, men just really want to provide for men and children. If war had to break out right now, and then an escape ship would to land, and then men were in charge.
Yep.
It's
the women and children.
It's the women and children. Yep. It's the women and children. So also, in a patriarchy society, umuntu wesifazane uhlala endlini, indoda iyahamba iyosebenza, indoda ibuyisa imali, umuntu wesifazane uhlala ney'ngane endlini, she's kept warm and protected, and you know, so also, if men are such bad people, technically, women can't overthrow men
Yeah.
solely based on the physical aspects of it. Women just can never overthrow men. If men are such evil people, then why are 50% of positions now being held by women?
Yeah.
And also, on most of my live streams, I work with statistics from Stats SA. Half of our women are employed. Half of our parliament at some points, I think 2018, was like now half of them women. So it's just like, if men are so evil and this is such a bad patriarchy, then why are things not going south? Like it's yeah. So women love patriarchy. And one of the things I got in trouble for was when I said that women love to be perverted upon.
Yeah.
I was on a different
Thirst
podcast.
trapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast, and then it was a female host, and then she said that men are perverts because why is it that when you're showing a cleavage and that is a big cleavage, Jack? And then I said, well, then cover it up. And then she was like, no, I wore this for myself, not for men. I said, no, if bofuna ukugqoka cleavage just for yourself, boze igqoke endlini, and then bongafuna ibhekwe bese uphuma, and then bozo imboza. And then she said, no, but why can't I said no, but then let's
You
say
want attention.
Yeah, it's intentional. Let's say now we get to the restaurant, it's my cleavage kumnandi, and then two men are sitting across us. One is just broken, ugly, and no one knows him, and then the other one is rich and famous and whatever. Then both of them look at your breasts. All of a sudden, we're flirting with that one. He's checking me out. I'm checking him out. And that one's a perfect because I'm phone. So why is he looking at me? Do you see how?
Yeah.
Double standards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's women love patriarchy. They love to be perverted upon. It just takes the right person. Takes the right person to say it.
Most men are starting to realize they're the prize. Who is the prize, men or women?
It's the prize is the man, because the whole institute of a marriage and a serious relationship was designed to favor the woman. Women are mainly the
100%.
ones that are looking for stability in a relationship. They're the ones who want to be sure. Ngesinto umuntu angazalisa izingane eziningi, ingane vele uyayilebola, uyikhiphela inkomo uthenga isibongo, uyavela kuba uhamba ingane uyoyihlawula. Also, there's no animosity there. Ingane izalile, awuyiphikanga, uyayivuma, uzenakekela ingane yakho, but you got the sex, you got your lineage without the actual chains of marriage and a serious relationship. Also, we know what happens in majority of the divorces. We all know who ends up becoming richer before and after the divorce between the male or the female. So the man is really the prize in a relationship, and our grandmothers understood it. Babes popota, babe bahle, bayithobela indoda. Kube mnandi when they go on the first date. It's a big event. Now, keeping Tomazana for a first date, she shows up at Yuko, no makeup, iwike liftaye with sunglasses. She's hanging from Ikruvia last night. So yeah, men are the prize in a relationship, not women.
Okay, so like moving forward, how do we treat women in 2024? You know what I'm saying? Because now, based on the standard that they've set for themselves, how do we then treat y'all?
Umuntu wesifazane umtreat ngelevel ayideservayo. Umuntu wesifazane if ecabangela, guys, the signs are very clear from beginning. Let's say mhlampe you guys are talking from the DMs. You're asking her, where should we meet up? Let's do lunch maybe. Questions like, where do you stay? I stay in Bryanston. You stay in Fourways. So central locations are this. You already know lo muntu uyacabangela, umuntu mhlambe bese fika bill who at least offers to pay. At least, I mean, I know go to indoda, you'll probably want to pay, but someone who at least offers to pay, umuntu emuzwa kahle ukuthi when this person is in a relationship, they'll also want to take me out. They don't think ukuthi kumele ngithwale umthwalo we-relationship yonke on my shoulders. Those are the kinds of people you need to treat as nice as they treat you. You must now go and just treat a woman like some goddess. You don't even know her personality. You don't know how nice her sex is. You don't know how friendly she is.
Yeah.
You're basically simping.
Yeah.
That's what we call simping.
Yeah.
Giving someone a certain praise that they haven't even worked for. So that's how you treat a woman in 2024. She must earn it.
Yeah.
She must earn how she must be treated.
Umjolo is a whole different thing for you guys who are young right now, who are out there even still in the field and just being in the dating scene. Ngihlale ngithi mina ayisono ngani.
Yeah.
Ayisono, izinto zishintshile. And I think it's becoming more and more difficult to find a partner of value. It's
It
like
is.
I'm a partner's manje. It's more materialistic than anything. It's a transaction.
Into eyenza ama-relationships namhlanje sibo abenzima ukuthi kukhona ama-illusions of options. Umuntu azi ukuthi I got options.
Yeah.
No, ukhuluma ngama-DMs afuna ukulala naye nje kuphela.
Yeah.
If you really have options, you know, like, babe, you don't have options. It's just men who wants to sleep with you. Also, obviously, because your cleavage and ass is out. I mean, do you, boo, as you should. I mean, show your cleavage and ass, but when the DMs come flooding in, you know, don't be shocked. But those are not your options. Those are not your options.
Those are not your real options.
Those are not your real
Because
options.
that's how it starts. It starts with the... But
Yeah.
maybe one of them might turn into a relationship.
But what are the odds? That's where me and most of the guests on my live streams siklasha khona, because I'm like, what are your options, babe? Out of 52 million people 60 million people in South Africa, half of them women, half of them men. You're obviously looking for this category of income. Obviously, then half of them are women. And then obviously now, some of them are gay, some of them are married, some of them are like new money.
Yeah.
They don't want DJs, they don't want Forex guys, they don't want athletes.
Yeah. They don't
so
want
now,
us
babe,
khumush, they don't want
I'm sure they
Exactly.
don't want DJs.
So now I'm like,
I'm going to
okay,
show you
sure.
my DMs.
So now I'm like, what are your options, babe? You know? I'm like, what are your actual options? What options are you talking about? Because from those guys in your DMs, how many of them would actually pass the filter long manj?
Yeah.
You don't have options. Oh, because it was easy to know ukuthi hayi usibusise Mngonyama shame ufundisa lapha high school ufundisa maths umfana olungile shame hayi ngizomnqoma ngimshade. You wouldn't be noticing umfana nje who's got rich friends oshutha duze kwamaLamborghini ophinde iskipper seGucci okushalayo in your DMs, you know? So like illusions of options are real.
How do you get real love in 2024? Do you like what you do, matchmake people, or mhlambe recommend me to somebody whom mutual friends, that type of thing? Because it seems like the way we're going, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people to find marriage.
How I matchmake personally is by going on a date with everyone that I filter through. If you reach out to my team, we'll firstly absorb just your normal information, name, age, how many kids, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll send through your pictures, no filters, you know, just real self. I'm more about quality over quantity. So not everyone I take. And then we go out on a date and then I vet you. Is he really looking for something stable? Some people are just so busy and then they just want to, you know, play around, have their needs met. Men and women want to have their needs met sometimes, you know. So for me, I've went on dates with both of y'all.
Yeah.
And then that's when my talent that has gotten me in that space in the first place now does its magic, and experience also of doing it for such a long amount of time. But for people that don't go out for a matchmaker, honestly, treat people how they deserve to be treated.
There is an unsaid agenda in the dating space that is sort of turning men into these social slaves.
Oh gosh.
Pikavuma.
About big Sisa in corporate, feminists are able to rise up and occupy 50% of the space, which is good, which is good, lovely. In society, 50% of women play crucial roles also in society. They are like leaders, which is good. But in the dating scene, you find that now women don't know how to act and they can't force men to pick them. Most of the times when a woman comes to my live stream at single size 38, I'm 36 years old, but and I'm like, why are you chin size 38? Like what's the excuse? Like what's the no? Some men love curved women, some men love thick women. I'm like, thick, yeah, not fat. Also, like Also, guys, I'm not being rude. It's a describing word. Ibizwa ngani konje? Pronoun, no.
Inakusebenzisa
Yeah,
ngokwesizwe.
adjective.
Chesa.
It is a
It's a
describing.
description,
This bottle is clear. It is thin. It is
Yeah.
tall. It's a descriptive word. Nonnie is muscular. She has a fit build.
Yeah.
Why are you fat? How do you think that affects your chances? No, guys, let's be real. Women are allowed to stand up and say, I don't like short niggas.
Yeah.
But when a man says, I don't like fat women, fat shaming.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
fat shaming is when you say fat people are dumb. That's fat shaming. You know,
Yeah.
when you say things like fat people are lazy, that's fat shaming because you're not really sure. It has nothing to do with weight. But when a man says that,
He's expressing his preference.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like fat women, then it becomes a problem. So now there's this agenda where women are trying to force men to pick them.
Yeah.
And I don't think men should budge. Men should be, if a woman is able to say, I want a dark-skinned, tall man, then a man has every right to say, I want a short, light-skinned woman. And then
Yeah.
push his chest out when he says it. And then angasabi, you know, and then now women are just failing to force men to pick them. And this agenda is just failing because this shaming, this is something also that happens. When a woman does not disagree with you, she shames you, she insults you.
Yeah.
To shame you, I would say, I would use something good, but make you feel bad for it. Oh, because on a small or famous, so you think you can get away with this because you're famous.
Yeah.
To insult you, I'll say, oh, are you gay?
Yeah.
Now I'm insulting you because you didn't
now
pick
I didn't
me.
choose you.
Exactly.
Ish. Yeah.
You know, and then also sometimes when you approach them with just clear logic or you use their own logic, there's this desperate need to be right, and then they ignore all logic. So 1 + 1 at 11.
Yeah.
What's 1 + 1 at 11? That's when they've put their foot down and then they're now determined to prove you wrong.
That's
so
narcissism in a way as well. There's like a new wave of
women are
narcissists.
narcissistic.
Yeah.
Women are. And also, guys, I'm saying all of these things not because I'm like, oh, man, I'm perfect, Patty. Everyone be like me. No, I just love my brothers, and maybe I am guilty with some of these things. That's why I'm able to just be like, just come out and say, no. If this is what she said, this is what she did. You asked her if she's cheating because who's this calling her 5 times?
Yeah.
And then she said, oh, when it's saying it's Feb, I'm busy sleeping around.
Did you
red
grow up with
flag.
boys?
I did.
Do you have brothers?
I have 4 brothers.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out.
That
makes sense.
That's why.
You
Yeah.
qualify to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Let's
I
talk.
have 4 brothers.
Let's talk about body count.
Yeah.
Men and women.
It's no.
What is the next? Okay, let me let you start.
One of the reasons I always say also that the man is the price in a relationship is because men are the gatekeepers to serious relationships and marriages. Because it's the man that proposes, and it's the man that lobolas, and it's the man. A man literally has nothing to benefit from that institution of marriage as a whole. But then obviously, I think it's a man marrying a woman, it's one of the highest honors a man can give to a woman. The same way a woman giving birth
to a
exactly.
son. Yeah.
That's why most men are like, she has a child. She's already given that honor to some other man, you know? And then again, you will be shamed for that, you know?
Yeah, true story,
But women control sex. Women control sex, and women never run out of people to sleep with. Exactly. And then for some
Because
reason,
those DMs are popping every day.
I coach men. I talk to men. I do also street interviews. Some of my content. Men don't have sex as much as we think they do. You know, the sex available to me.
Men who have got a so-called lower market value, but men with lots of money, with lots of options. A lot of them do have lots, especially the younger guys, right?
But then now in our economy, where things are so polarized, you know, Santon, there's just Alex here, and then there's Santon here. It's just a certain amount of them, you know.
But I would agree with you. Most men don't have as much sex
Exactly.
as society makes it out.
Exactly. Whereas a woman can just be There's a woman right now walking on a gravel road in Eastern Cape, but purely because of her beauty. Ayikho imoto edlula ingahoot. Beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep. Oh, sorry, sissy, udinga lift. Solely for existing. That's the amount of sex that's available to her, you know? Look at these pranks online where women can just walk up to men and just like hugging strangers. Like, how many women compared to men will actually like get proper hugs and like good hugs, or walk up to people and said, do you wanna do this? And then almost every man is like, now, yeah, sure. No need to ask her name, no need to know where she's from, but willing to do it. So
And for men, it's not as easy.
it's not as easy. So now, when a woman has such a high body count, it's like, I was clonipimos because there's absolutely no reason to sleep around. There's
Why must I
absolute-
clonipa you when you don't clonipa yourself?
Exactly. Treat them like how they want to be treated. Like, one of my sayings is, if she's not acting like she wants to be saved, don't save her.
Yeah.
If she belongs to the streets, then, I mean, she's for the streets. Yeah.
If she's for the streets, you do agree with brothers who just want to sleep with her and that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
If a woman is for the streets, yeah.
Yeah.
You found her on the streets.
Yeah.
It goes back to what I was saying.
Why ufuna ukuzenza ujesu? Why ufuna ukumsave?
Exactly.
Ngoba futhi you can't turn a hose into a, what do they say?
You can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
You really can't. Matt, you got into trouble so many times. I just won't name drop.
No, you can. It's okay.
Not right now.
Yeah.
But then he said he just finds it crazy when people choose it girls and try to turn it girls into wives. Like, because technically that person's been around. They're known by a lot of people. They get approached a lot. Benefits and opportunities are presented to them many times for many different types of reasons. So if you find a girl from the streets, umfica lapha eGrove,
Mara nokuba
she's down.
ninokuba unfair mara kulaba ngathi ba famous.
Okay.
Because mhlambe publicly siyabazi lamadoda ayi3 ajole nabo.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't mean that
that's
they've
the
been
crazy-
around.
That's the crazy
It's
part
because
about
they're
fame,
famous.
actually.
Yes.
That's the crazy
Yeah,
part
I'm
about being
and then
famous.
ujole nalo. But wena ungazi ujole nabantu abayi 30,000.
No, but if woman's for the streets, don't try to save her.
Yeah, but to a certain degree, I agree with Umjolo when he talks about what is it called? What it girls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine if you've got that traffic of men that want
exactly.
you, and you're at the peak.
And also being an it girl doesn't necessarily mean in media. It's just that those are in media sometimes that he refers to. I could be an it girl in Santon. Everywhere I show up, like regulars around are like, oh, NONNIE, Yamazi, pull through. But now, why are they so open to pull me into the table, knowing damn well the scene of what happens in here? The whole club culture, honestly, is this flea market of sex and money. If we're really being honest,
I guess that's why Nigerian
The
brothers they
club
make sure
scene.
champagne mainly flow one way.
Is this flea market of sex and money.
Ngoba
The-
ngibanas.
The club scene is a flea market for just sex and money.
Sure.
Don't take anything in there that happens seriously. Don't think that you are ugly because no one's calling into their section. Maybe it's because they don't think that they can smash you so easily as a girl. As a guy, if a hand's not talking to you, don't think, she's mumbi. No, he doesn't have champagne. So there's less disposable money for me to get, so like nothing in there is serious.
What advice do you give to a young girl who's hot right now, great career? She's 24, 25 years old. She's got a lot of options. Others are proposing marriage.
Yeah. That's good. Just keep your body count low and act like a good woman. A good woman is not so easily available, guys. She's not known by everyone. A good woman is discerning. She has a discerning spirit.
Proverbs woman. Proverbs 31 woman.
I mean, it's like it's in the little things. How are you even hugging men? Ikona church hug.
Yeah, side hugs.
Ikona le hug.
They're Bluetooth, yeah.
Oh, hi. How are you? Taibo. kwaphefumulweni wala nomqala manje like hey bo kwenzakalani la
Yeah.
you know like no guys like you know a good woman she loves children, she loves to clean, she loves to cook, she's soft spoken, she's agreeable. Intombazane ethanda pushback njalo, stay away from that
come
kind of
on.
woman.
Ah.
No. No. Intombazane disagreeable njalo, like
Masculine traits.
exactly.
Yeah.
When there's a smart woman knows her battles and she knows which battles to fight and which battles not to fight. As a woman, you must make it a habit sometimes. Oh, shut up, nje.
And a smart woman is also able to make the guy seem like he's the one that's making things happen.
Yeah,
But she knows how to
Yes.
push certain buttons and make him too.
Indoda awuyi-challenge phambi kwabantu uyibrusha nisekamereni ekhanda no to baba no mina bangicabanga ukuthi no
Yeah, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah, instead of this
iphuma
and
indoda
that.
seyivuma you know hayi sengishintshile umqondo wami you know yeah like a good woman does not correct you in public. She supports you. She's your fan.
She's got a lot of femininity traits. ne?
Exactly. Yeah. Very friendly. Guys.
Very friendly.
No.
Amanye amadoda don't think so.
Wait. Hlezi sidlala ngabantu besifazane ababelungu sithi they've got fake smiles. No guys, why a black woman frowning everywhere? Wonke umuntu ehlinile.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like smile.
But be friendly with boundaries, right?
Yes.
Because amanye amadoda ngathi lo mntwana uyangifuna mfana. Hawu, lo muntu friendly.
Yeah, so yeah, fit, feminine, and friendly. Also, guys, let's come on. Like I don't focus a lot on body weight itself because I understand bone density, muscle mass, and all of those things. But at least look like if a dog had to chase you, you have a chance of like surviving. Please. I know that it's first time those tofu, amadoda, those tofus or whatever. But come on, guys.
Iba health is nagegele.
Iba health, exactly.
Now yourself for your own health.
Exactly.
Nathi singajuthani.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Khona ubani ulizo rulaizo lwase-America.
Ulizo, yeah.
Yes, girl. Yes,
Yeah.
girl. Love yourself the way you are. Mari niyambona nje msisi wabantu ukuthi I know.
Yeah.
Anything lo muntu angacollapse.
agendas that they're pushing, yeah.
Asiben fair. Asiben honest sometimes.
We're
abanye
taking
abantwana.
it too far. Also, just human dynamics, taking out the dating scene out of it. Like human dynamics, people have a natural perception to think that fat people are lazy. Most people always think that a fat person is lazy, they overeat, that they don't exercise. Why would you want to be presented that way? No, we have to speak the truth. And with me,
Ngavele
this
ngacabanga
is when it becomes
Kevin Samuels, no Top G, Andrew Tate.
and
Yeah.
Madoda NONNIE. But anyway,
Gotta talk, yeah.
it's okay to talk about it.
it's just don't be fat. Just don't listen. Don't be fat and blame us when we talk about it. This is my stance on fat people. Be fat and proud of it. Be fat and gorgeous. Be about your fatness. I love people like your thick Leonte, your Lizzo.
Yeah.
Uyazazi ukuthi nayo isidudla. Uyazazi nayo ukuthi singafika clubini kuthiwe yeah, you and your friends. Yeah, but no, she can enter. She knows and she's able to talk about those struggles. But don't be shocked and try to turn other people into villains when
When you do
they're
it
not
to yourself,
fine.
yeah.
Exactly. When now they have these perceptions that most people do have, you know, it's most people can't imagine sex with a fat person because the stamina.
Yeah. Now you don't lift a
Don't
leg
laugh.
and all that.
No, just
No, ngihlekisa unothi vele ikhela zihambela kaya
no. If you want to increase no, please be in shape. No.
No, but I get you.
And as
yeah.
a black people, we're too fat, guys. We're too fat.
You think so?
We are.
Do you think we're more fat than white people?
Yes.
You think so?
Ukuthe
Depends.
bancane kunathi
Oh, okay, yeah, you can't really
Ukuthe
do that
bancane
properly, yeah.
kunathi. But then from other countries, if I had to say name the skinniest races, and like obviously you'd put like Asian people there, but then Caucasian people just come really like come on.
But there's
And
a-
black people, no.
But
we're
there's
very
this
fat.
something
No.
that sets South African women apart from all other women all over the world.
It's the ass and the
nyasha.
curve. Listen, what
Yeah.
sets South African women apart in a good way is the ass and the curves. But it's not the double chin, the mkaba, the flabby arms. No, it's not that. And then let's not act like that does not come genetically. You have no excuse to keep umkaba ongawuthandi nawe because you want to say men love us, they love us, but
What about fat men?
not
though?
isis. Sorry?
What about fat men then?
Fat men also come across as lazy, lack discipline. Exactly.
To compensate.
No, but unemali engaka, you could afford these low calorie noodles, rice, these more expensive foods. You can.
You think fat niggas have got time for low
No calories now. We want that burger, yo.
They want that burger now, bro.
Then, if you're not thinking of those solutions, we might as well call you lazy to even think. Then, you're driving yourself to your deathbed. Then,
I get
just
you.
don't be fat.
Like again,
Just
man.
don't be. Yeah, exactly. Just don't be fat.
It'd be okay, not too much, where you are unhealthy. Because that's for
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about having money and being big, ne? Because you can't outsource the gym.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Because if you could, you'd have like a
No,
queue
you
of
can't.
niggas going to gym on your behalf.
In like 10 years, I'm sure AI will gym on your behalf.
That's crazy. Yeah.
What do you mean when you say on your videos, not all women deserve to be courted?
Yeah.
Courting is a traditional concept. Ngeke wena manje ufuna ukushelwa oqeda 90 days before sex, but usugcwala ama-tattoo, ugcwala ama-piercings in everywhere else, usuzala ney'ngane. You haven't been traditional in your whole life, but then men that get involved with you are now supposed to be traditional. Babe, come on now. Come on. Why when impilo yakho yonke you haven't been traditional, but manje sona 28 suningane zo20 nozoziphathela i-doggy bag, but now men that take you out are supposed to be traditional, hold the door for you, and those are all traditional things. Also it's being polite, the little things like holding out your chair and then whatever, but the courting side of it, where we say a man does not have access to sex, that is a traditional concept, and you haven't been traditional, so please explain that. So for me, that's when I say that most women don't deserve to be courted. Intombazane ezihloniphayo, egqoka kahle, engena ingane, who's young and in shape, she definitely deserves to be courted, But then lo ne-tattoo, egcwele ithanga lonke,
Bad.
ugqobhoze ikhala,
Marifuna bona kanye thina.
Maybe you, but me,
No, I'm
me,
not
I'm
saying me
good.
personally. I'm just
As
saying I'm
men,
a cheat.
Yeah.
But then
But
do you
for
want to
different
marry
reasons
them?
also, right?
Do you want to marry them?
That's what I mean.
Exactly, yeah.
She's for the streets. Keep her on the streets.
Not really.
Nah, come
Tattoos and piercings don't necessarily mean she's for the streets.
It depends. 'cause
But
now
you
you
might
could-
just not want to marry her.
Yeah.
But maybe, you just would like to smash.
Yeah, you might just find like a chakra hand with like gang tattoos, but then when you like interact with her,
Yeah.
she's on some
The
other.
mind is on another level.
But
She's
guys, let's
amazing.
not though act like we all can identify women as from the streets. They're very clear. If there's a
But why you say
piercing, no.
Muslim?
If there's a tattoo on that piercing, uzogqoka something see through where you can see. Man, come on, those are for the streets. Explain to me why you wearing into a see-through, which is the bikini ngaphansi. It's 3:00 during the day. Ilanga lisengaphandle. Why are you even wearing that? There's only one place to wear that. It's if uzophuma kwakho ungene kwi-Uber, uphuma kwi-Uber ungene clubbing straight. Uphuma eklabhini ungene kwi-Uber ugoduke. Why? Come on, please.
Because now
Please.
we're also like in a generation where we like a lot of women that I'm interacting with, they misconstrue being a baddie, right? And for me, a bad bee is someone who's like hustling, doing the most and whatnot. So they misconstrue being a baddie to trashy behavior, so to speak. So like, what's your take on that?
Also, I think being a baddie just means that she does her nails, she does her lashes, and that's what I think being a baddie is. But then that aesthetic is easily confused with hunts from the street, because they also do their lashes and nails, whatever. The term slay queen, it was just the queen who slays, guys. It was just the queen. It was just the queen who slays, who dresses well, who earns her own money. Like, oh, slay queen, you
The meaning
slay.
has changed, man.
Manje, so I'm a gold digger, my slay queen, manje. When we say stay away from slay queens, we're not talking about queens who slay. Now we're all talking about women who like to dress up and look good, but
With an agenda to.
they can't even get that themselves.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you identify a gold digger?
How do you identify a gold digger? It's like sibuza ukuthi le ntombazane indaba ishuthe iy'thombe kuma-restaurant aphezulu iphethe isikhwama se-Louis Vuitton igqoke amacici 15k awa-LV kodwa akasebenzi uyise uhola u-15k ka-education obhuti bakhe babamba amatekisi usebenzaphi kushuthi uyithathe le mali.
Is that different from a sex worker?
It's all the same thing.
Is she any different
And
from a
don't
sex
get me
worker?
wrong. I'm just against the hypocrisy. Like Wendy from My Body Works for Me. She's openly a sex worker. I love it so much. Such a wonderful girl.
Yeah.
Like, babe, be about your thing. But now, you know, the blurred lines now become the issue. Uyamona lo muntu uthi hamba ama-vacation uphuma eThailand uphuma eGreece but akasebenzi usafunda evarsity and ireza ahlala kuyona. Also, if they are that rich Kubo to even afford a holiday, shouldn't she be staying in some student-friendly apartments? You know, so it's just signs. It's just signs of a pattern and history that you can clearly identify. Go to this one. Then she starts asking for favors. I always tell men, if you want to avoid women, umalo vele ube slim, you know. When she says, babe, ngilambile vele ube slim, uthi upheka ngani? No, angiphekanga blah blah blah. Uthi igrosa ayikho yini endlini? No, ikhona igrosa, there's load shedding. How isinkwa sona? Isinkwa so 15 rand. How, you know, just being women don't like men that come across as stingy. And I tell my brothers personally, I tell them to be stingy. I say be stingy, please be stingy to women. Only women that genuinely love you won't mind you being stingy.
Yeah, 100%.
Abuse in relationships. Okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, in a lot of relationships, abuse is one-sided.
Yeah. Oh, you know, a lot of women come to me for matchmaking. A lot of men come to me for coaching. And a lot of these men are abused. They're abused physically and psychologically more than anything.
And emotionally as well.
And emotionally, that's how most men are abused. And when you think of domestic abuse or abuse in a relationship, you always think of this man who's being possessive, who manhandles a woman. Besides women also hitting men, and men not reporting it because the whole idea is deemed ukuthi it is emasculating. Abantu besifazane balimaza amadoda ngamazwi nangezenzo nanokungabahloniphi nje futhi inhlamba akuthuke umuntu esifazane akuthuke to the level where you walk out because you physically cannot now stop yourself from doing something that you're not supposed to do. But it doesn't change ukuthi usekuthukile. The other thing about the abuse is that imvimba ifan. Something that was said ngomlomo izolimaza ngaphakathi, number one. And also, you can find two people who drowned. Omunye was drowned ukuthi umzimba wonke bongaphandle, but only the face was dipped in the pool. Omunye was drowned ukuthi umzimba wonke was submerged. And it doesn't change. Both of those people drowned. It's the same thing with abuse. Why you hurt? How constant is it? Is it a pattern? Do you love this person or even for many different reasons? But men get abused so much by women in relationships.
And a lot of men are afraid to speak out. We're always told, you know, we must be strong. And we experience a lot of abuse.
And it's the tactics I told you about. You will get shamed. When angakufika usane on day one when I stayed by you, you'll never find another woman who'll accept it. People when I think you are gay, when I blah blah blah. Those are the things that you will hear when a woman sees that you are now about to take your stand. Those are things you're about to hear. Men cry in sessions. Men cry. Also, a coach is more like an accountability partner. A coach is more like a friend. You don't come to me for me to diagnose you and treat you. No, you come to me just for a safe space to be honest, because of how much you related to the things that I said. So you already feel open when you come to me. Men cry and they're just broken and abused. And these are men who have jobs, good-looking men. Good. I can tell you myself, these are like good-looking men who are young. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. And I really don't give two Fs, whether I'm like brand friendly or advertiser friendly. Firstly, I'm more about quality, the impacts that I make, and also the lives that I change. So yeah, no. Abuse is real, hey?
I get you.
Yeah, no, abuse is real, and men get abused a lot. And when a woman goes on the internet, ayefuna motivation, also fika, you are a queen,
Yeah.
you deserve this, don't drop your standards, queen. But someone just lisa better motivation for men. You're a pussy. You're dirty. You don't have a Ferrari. You should have millions by now. Why don't you have a Ferrari?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
As a man, you must get used to hustling. As a man, you must just provide. Everyone around you is depending. Where do men then cry? And where do men then get to be told, Uguti, my king, put yourself first, love yourself, So, yeah, no.
2024, what are you predicting for the dating scene in Mzansi?
2024 dating
Nyaka
scene.
mushu yaqala manje.
Yeah. Does it have to do with me?
I'm predicting you becoming bigger in what you
Yeah.
do, and I love what you do because I think there is endless opportunities for you in the space that you're in.
And this- yeah.
Don't even forget about not being brand friendly.
Brand,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
The fact that Nje, you're
Yeah.
in that space, and it's an incredible space to be in. And there's so many other things for you to
Other
do out
things.
there. I mean, apart from writing books and giving talks and being paid for it,
Yeah.
and doing and by the way, doing podcasts, this is your home. Now,
Yeah.
anytime.
A podcast,
nje.
okay.
Sekhaya la, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thinking the same thing.
Oh,
You're thinking the
thank
same
you.
thing,
Like,
right?
no, you gotta come
Yeah,
back.
because I also
Yeah.
got so many questions. I even
Yeah.
had so many questions for her. Now that she's here, some of them I can't even think of.
Yeah.
And some people say, when we don't prepare for these interviews,
You don't,
and
yeah.
ngenza ngamabomu, I don't prepare because esikhathini esiningi umuntu ngifuna ukumazi kwangempela. I don't do too much research kuma guest wami. Ngifuna nje kube ingxoxo honest. But I mean, 2024 unyaka musha now. Let's do our predictions for this year.
Does it have to do with me or has nothing to do with me?
Nothing
firstly?
or both.
Okay. Nothing to do with me. I don't see much change. But every man that follows me, oh my, he's gonna find his crown shame. No. Most men will cower less, will be less apologetic about their standards, will be less apologetic about the things that they want from women. Most men will know their value. That you show up on a date. I was allowed to present yourself and pick me. No, most men will now actually show up as wanting to look for someone who equally contributes to a relationship, not necessarily financially, but when we ask a woman what does she bring to the table, at least say cute things like, I bring the entertainment, I'm coming to clean the table, I'm gonna set up the table. Don't tell us shit like, I am the table. Babe, you're not the table. You're not the damn table. Like, you're not the damn table. So yeah. 2024. For those who don't follow me, I don't see it changing in 2024. Those who follow me, I see them changing. But I know you didn't ask me that. I know you didn't ask me this question. But I feel like sometimes when you have a flame driving you for some passion, like I would motivate people even if I wasn't paid for it. If the system changed where people were not incentivized by money, where people maybe were incentivized by maybe portions of food for the month, I would just motivate people for a living. So that flame is definitely there, and yeah, I can't wait.
That's what I've been doing all my life. Some places you get paid, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it's a good thing just to pour onto other people without even getting paid for it. It's a beautiful thing. It's also a great feel. It's fulfilling. Because I believe
It'll humble
You know?
me, and it does still. Every time someone says, you helped me, oh, you changed me, I was like this, I came across you, and now I'm like this. That's what I yearn for each and every time.
So we have to do a Valentine's Day episode, ne?
Yeah, we
It's
must.
January now, so
Everyone must leave their question, and then we must have like a segments at maybe like Ask Nonnie or something, and
No,
then we'll
but-
answer those questions.
But you know what?
Yeah.
When we're saying it's home here, you can come anytime, but you can
Yeah.
also record your own content on the platform.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
This
No,
platform
but
is for
you-
everyone,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
but you're the one that's not starting a network.
No, I mean, my platform is not necessarily a network, but I've always been like that. Like I ignite other people's
Oh,
careers,
okay.
and then so when you're flying, you can then go do your own thing.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We did the same thing. You know, when
Yeah.
people started out, and then as they grow, and you know, they can just go
Yeah.
fly on their own.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is home. Basically, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the industry is just crazy because obviously some people that we look up to will openly endorse you, like how I am here. I started a podcast. Kanyumba was like, no, definitely, babe, I love you. You know, I'll always be here for you. Call me when I'm back from Dubai. She came, was on time, was nice. But the industry is obviously crazy because some people that you look up to will endorse you and some will be like openly against you. And so.
No, but such is life.
Yeah,
Impilo njalo.
and we're not
Impilo,
scared,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So like we've kind of showed you, here's a home over here.
Yeah.
So like, come through, put in some work, and then let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tina, that's what we are. Honestly, my goal is for you guys to be even bigger.
Yeah.
I don't even have a problem when you're bigger than me. I don't even have that problem.
Media is
'Cause
changing
I'm not even
though,
competing
right?
with anyone.
It's
It's
not even
evolved.
competing.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really cool. I'm in a good space. Yeah.
Media now is here. At some point, it was on the TV screen. Before that, it was on radio. Before
Yeah.
that, it was on print. So now it's here.
And some of us have had to evolve with it and come here.
Yeah.
And I saw some of my peers that said they were too cool to come to the internet. I think
Yeah.
in the beginning it was seen as if
yeah.
I've fallen off when I
Yeah.
go to the internet, and they were laughing at us.
Yeah.
And
The
now
fact
it's like
that-
everyone is starting to say this internet thing is popping.
Bonang is on YouTube. You know.
You know what I mean? Like G, myself, fresh.
You
You
know
know?
where it's moving.
Yeah.
As soon as you like big fishes are like, you know where it's moving. So yeah.
I'm
Excited.
very proud of you, Sisa.
Thank you so much.
And we have not even gotten into your story, but I think
We haven't.
I'd love to find out more about you on the next. There's so much to talk about
The
now.
proper way. Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much to talk about.
Let's
Are you making a good living with being a dating coach? So somebody can go out there and decide and say, I want to make this my career.
The thing is, I think it has to be more like a calling.
Okay.
Because as much as I hate when people ask me my age, because I'm fairly young. I'm just functioning on
guess it's wisdom.
on talent. Yeah. So for them, I'm making good money because obviously my exposure but I'd say to people, don't do it for the money. Just, It should be like a calling. You should yearn to want to change people's lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Nonnie. And did I call you Nonnie N or just Nonnie?
Coach Nonnie.
Coach Nonnie.
You said follow her at I just said search Coach Nonnie everywhere.
Oh, Coach
Yeah,
Nonnie. Okay.
Coach Nonnie, yeah.
And your brand is consistent on all social media
Yeah,
platforms.
Coach Nonnie everywhere.
Yeah,
Just
because
search that.
I think your TikTok brought me to your Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I started
nice.
bouncing between both.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful how I even saw, I think at some point you were on a back and forth no Somizi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Somizi.
Yeah.
But I loved how you handled that as well.
Yeah, just
Nice
objective.
and humbly, but objective.
Yeah, okay.
That was nice.
Thank you so
So
much.
you are going very far. Thank you for visiting us.
Thank you so much.
Last words to the hustlers out there. Which camera? Ukulume now.
Kings, queens, know your worth. Know your worth and don't fumble good people. Those are my final words. Know your worth and don't fumble good people. And follow me everywhere.
You fumble good people. You regret at a later stage, right? Yes. Coach Nonnie, we love you. Thank you so much for the visit.
Thank you so much.
God bless. See you guys on the next video. Danko!
Bye.
Shut up. That was fire.
Fire, bro!
1 hour 12 minutes.
Yo!
and
I thought it was less than an hour.
and like
It felt like
It felt like 30 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
no, I'm saying
And
that was
we've not even
dope.
started.
Yeah, we haven't even
And
started.
this is our beginning.
Yeah.